Welcome to Elementalhypertech. What I call Medicate and meditate. So with meditation, there are several different techniques, and each of these techniques have their own desired goal, statement of desire, whether it's to empty the mind or fill it, right? Or aim it, focus it. And with regard to how to medicate, that is a process of gathering information from certain genres that have influence in your life. So you want to pay attention to the different industries, because those industries produce wealth, and the majority of the population flock to that wealth, so that way they can generate income from those industries, and those industries are built and financed by the management system. So it's self-reinforced, right? You want to know the opponent, you want to know the adversary. It's you, it's me. We're our own worst enemies in that sense. So with that understanding, we go into medicate instead of meditate, and we look at the different industries of politics and the economy and the military and health, right, and media and travel. So all these industries that have a design matrix, a web, a net built within it for the collection of wealth, health, energy, and activity. So there's the majority of people are stuck in that system. This is another concept that's shared in the movie. So what we do is we utilize this present moment, current events where the majority of the people are, who enjoy the presentation of personalities and characters. So here's an example of how we know where we're going, is by knowing where we are, is we look at these different systems and industries, and we see what's going on within them, so we can put them together in it like a tapestry, and then have an understanding of where we're going, because in reality, these industries are actually working together. So if we can extract their information and the way they speak to each other through their symbols, if we can understand how they communicate with each other, then we get to know what their agenda is. So right now in politics, for example, we're looking at the audits, right? That information is critical right now because there needs to be distractions away from that. And the people who listen to this will know why that's important, right? Elections and things like that play an important role in the future. This helps break free the minds, right? And freedom is our goal, but we want the liberty to choose our mission. So that you want to look at that in politics and the economy. We're seeing what's going on with crypto, so we're keeping a close eye on that. And like the McAfee Drops. So we know that that's an issue, okay? And then there's the military. And in the military, we have Afghanistan and China, right? These are major issues on the far end of each other's spectrum, okay? So that we're following that and what's going on there closely, but not what we get in the mainstream, right? The mainstream helps us understand what it isn't instead of what it is. So when we hear from them, we know that it's been created and designed and like a movie, right? We know that that's their narrative. That's the story that they've made, and then they share it. But no one's listening to that anymore because travel is also having issues, right? With parts and issues, stuff like that. So we're having a breakdown in those systems. So we can kind of get a picture of where we are in time right now. And that, several months, like if you listen to Future Voice, you'll know how the timeline works for the next several months to several years and even beyond until the development goals of the 2030s that we go into with the advanced students about how to create flags and markers in time. So this is part of navigation and having aim and purpose behind you in the present and connecting you to your future self. So the experiences and the perspectives that your future self will have, now you can have access to that through this time connection, right? These processes do take time, of course, and that's what we're doing here. We're taking advantage of that time, right? This is part of the time travel teachings that you learn. And then, it's because we do want to, which is the last part, which is the media, which is the voice, right? Again, they're not listening there. So who are they listening to? They're listening to the others. Have you considered they're actually listening to us and then building their next move based on the creativity and adaptability that we are supplying? So we know that about the censorship, and we're following that too and seeing how they're reacting there. So anyway, this kind of gives you an idea of all the different pieces in which you harmonize with, so that way you can put it all together, and this allows you to see what their agenda, their goal is, not yours. That's the thing. You have to put yourself in their position, and you'll have a better understanding of their motivations and the why of it. You don't really want to answer their why because everybody's got their own reasons, but you do want to try to empathize and sympathize, and that's a future technology of humans, right? We're trying to teach this, put this back into what empathy and sympathy is, because that is actually one of our superpowers if we use it correctly. And in time, this is what we're trying to show. Like a great renegade,